Ahoy, mateys. Michelle, you're first. Welcome aboard, honey. Coming to you live from Lano, Texas. And of course, I'm getting pop ups. I was kind of surprised because at the campground where I'm staying, I've had a good signal until today. Now, today it looked like I had a good signal, but nothing was uploading. It was just taking forever. Everything was charged fine. I've been charging off the truck battery. Everything's charged up. Welcome aboard, Lewis. Uh, everything's charged up. In the evening hours, I've watched videos. I've been watching one in particular video series. So I'm hoping I might win some money. I seriously doubt it. I had a 1 in 70,000 shot at it. But we'll see. I haven't checked the results yet. They are in, but I couldn't seem to check them at the campground and upload my latest video. And I tried to do the checking the Ruby Slots game, or not game, but their giveaway thing. I tried checking that on the phone, and the signal was terribly slow, even though I had 4 bars at 4G on the phone. So don't ask me why. It was something bizarre. It's probably because I've disturbed the woodchuck burial ground there. I'm sure that's what it is. More on that later. Now, as far as the scavenger hunt, before I get into that, if you're coming here watching the replay, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe. Hey, that's all good. I've got kind of a weird setup here, but the sun is about probably a half an hour from going down, and it is super bright in my eyes here, but I figured that's kind of good for lighting. It does look like the lights are on this gas station. I'm basically in the middle of Lano, Texas. I'm not exactly downtown where all the older buildings are. I have to cross the bridge to get to those, I believe. I can't remember. But I love this town. I'm learning my way around. I was at the Lowe's Market for my second time for being at the Lowe's Market. This is about my 4th time being at this gas station. I've been to one of the Dollar Generals. I've been to one of the Dollar Trees. Well, there's 2 Dollar Generals. There's only 1 Dollar Tree. Don't ask me why there's 2. But then on the other hand, at home in Sparta, there's 2. Nancy, welcome aboard. James Catnese is here too. Welcome aboard. So yes, I seem to have a better signal here. So tomorrow night probably we'll have to do the Why Do We Say It program from probably right here as well. So it seems to be a decent place to park. I told the lady inside I was going to go live, and she didn't seem to care one way or another. Diane, welcome aboard. Yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. It kind of reminds me of having to drive to Kent City to do the live streams when I was up in Michigan. So it's no big deal, except I was surprised because I had a full bars. Why could I not, is there a quality to the bars? That's never happened to me. But hey, life goes on. So as far as the scavenger hunt goes, Lily Gypsy Child has me looking for what she calls her honey hole. Well, I've been looking, and I finally had to sit down and say, all right, if you're looking for the honey hole, what might you need? Finally, I thought, well, maybe it's like a scavenger hunt. You need a key. You might need a key, a CBK. So when I get back to camp, I'll start looking for the CBK just in case, So then I probably got to think, well, where would you look for a CBK? Maybe somebody can help me. I can see you, Michelle. And I said hello to you when you first came in. You were the very first person here. Can you hear me okay? Timmy Ray, welcome aboard. The chat's been going awful fast right away. I mean, I didn't get the thumbnail up until 10 minutes ago because I couldn't get a good signal. But yeah, the thumbnail's up. It's not the best thumbnail in the world, but I can see you, Michelle. I'm hoping you can see me. Yeah, I think everybody can see you, Michelle. Timmy hasn't blocked you, I don't think. Get to the key. All right, I'll give you the key. But I need another key. I need the CB key. I got to find that. You didn't hear me, Michelle? Well, that's understandable. You probably still got traffic noise blasting in your ears from the commute home. Speaking of traffic noise, I'm going to have to roll this window down a bit because it's actually 62 degrees. Of course, with the sun shining in here, we're getting a little bit warm. So we'll have to put up with a little traffic noise. Yeah, it's been a beautiful day. I thought I was going to get in trouble. Well, actually, Lily said she was mad at me because there was frost on the ground this morning. Guess what? There's going to be frost on the ground again tomorrow. You're on break from YouTube. Okay, Timmy. Did I say hi to you, Nancy Drew? I think I did. So yeah, I am enjoying it down here. I actually spent quite a bit of time, longer than I thought I would, at the Oxford Cemetery. The Oxford Cemetery is just south of where I'm camping. I mean, it's about a half a mile. And I went up in there and started looking around. It's very, very fascinating. The cemetery has been there since 1881. There are some rangers that are buried there. There are some masons. I found several masons. Didn't find the names. That was weird. But now, I do want to say one thing. The mason graves that are unmarked, I mean, they're marked, but the bronze or copper plates that were typically associated with the Masonic graves back in the early 1900s, they have disappeared. Gee, I wonder why. Well, that's good, Michelle. And I realized that, well, some of the Masonic graves could also be Texas Ranger graves because quite often Masons are also into law enforcement. That's actually even typical today. I shouldn't say typical, but it's not uncommon. Let's put it that way. Who is Timmy? Good one, James. Georgianne, welcome aboard. Everybody's giving Timmy a hard time because he says he's on break and he's not really here, so nobody sees him. But Michelle was worried that nobody was seeing her. So we see her. So yeah, I got this crazy Christmas gift. Trying to block the sun just a little bit so it doesn't blind me. It kind of gives an uneven light in here, but I did get a little bit of sun tanning in for about maybe 45 minutes today. Then all of a sudden the wind came up and it got chilly and ended up putting on a long sleeve shirt. I can't really show you what it says. It says Happy Camper on it. There. But it is a long sleeve overshirt. Oh, Timmy's saying, I don't understand this. I support all these channels. They don't support me, and I'm going to smell. If the person doesn't support me, I'm not going to support me. I'm not going to be on. Okay, Timmy. At any rate, I did get a little bit of sun today, and I was happy for that. I did not put shorts on today, and I'm actually wearing shoes because I thought I was going to go on a hike. I thought this afternoon I'd be hiking further back on the ranch in search of Lily's honey hole, but I didn't get to do that. So tomorrow morning, that'll be on my list. Let's hope the weather is holding. It's supposed to. It's supposed to get down below 30 tonight. I think 29, they said. I hope they're wrong. I'm tired of coldness. Well, I guess, it's not terribly uncommon for it to get cold down here. But, when I was at the cemetery this afternoon, I had monarch butterflies flying around behind me by the camper. And of course, the batteries were dead for the camera. And I'm looking for the batteries. By the time I found the batteries, the monarchs were gone. Go figure. I did take some other pictures at the graveyard cemetery on my phone. Doesn't do us much good here, but yes, I agree with what Michigan Carol is saying. Welcome aboard, Carol. I hope everyone had a blessed Christmas. Definitely. I feel blessed. I was alone. Well, I had Jax. Jax was around. And before I actually get back to camp tonight, I better stop at the Dollar General and see if I can find some coconut macaroons. What are they called? I've got 5 of them left. Yeah, coconut macaroon. He likes them. And make sure he doesn't get too many. He actually hasn't had even one today. So, as Lily says, the Oxford campground, Oxford Ranch, where I'm at, she says it's a magical place. Troy, Michigan Carol's counterpart, Michigan Troy. Anyway, he made a comment that my imagination was running away with me, or something to that effect. Lily replied to him, no, it's real. You know what? It feels real. When I walk in certain areas on that property, and today at the cemetery as well, I feel things. I'm not immune to the spirit world, if you will. I do sense things. Jax is a black lab. Now get this, Carol. When I first posted, it would have been the second day that I was there. I posted a picture of Jax by my truck. It was a video. And, just said I met this dog, and he seems to be my guide around the ranch because he was staying with me wherever I would walk. And wherever I would walk with the dog. And so after that was published, all of a sudden I got a comment from Lily And she says, the dog's name is Jax. He was there 8 years ago when she was there. And she said, don't let him fool you. He's there for the food. I love the dog. He's cool. Very cool. So, yeah. She thought, I wonder if he remembers me, is what Lily said. I said, well, you know, I'm sure he does. How could anybody forget you, Lily? Bing, bing. Yes, Lewis. Like I said, mine was a little bit lonely, but I had Jax. So that was okay. Yeah, black labs are great. I had one in my life, but I had enough. Well, actually, I had two. One of them was a full black lab. The other one was a black lab mixed with Irish setter. He was all black, but he was about twice as big as a normal black lab. He was huge. He'd come up and he'd plop his head down in your lap when you're sitting on the couch or whatever. Plop his head down, look up at you, and go, woo, 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 woo. I know exactly what he was saying. He was saying, I love you. I love you. He was he did $3,000 worth of damage to a car back in the 90s. And unfortunately, it killed him. Oh, there's Kelly Crawford. Welcome aboard. All the way from British Columbia. Isn't this long distance internet thing kind of cool? Oh, Lewis has got a girlfriend? Okay. Good. Good bully for you, I wish. Yeah, Timmy's got a girlfriend now, too. I'm the one that's lagging. I had a brown lab mixed with a Rottweiler. He was a big boy, I bet. Yeah. I seen a cool film the other day where this guy comes, he pulls into his yard and they have a gate. And all of a sudden, two guys are trying to drag him out of his car and rob him. But meanwhile, and this, the cameras on the house are kept picking up on this whole thing. So he's opening up the gate, and the two Doberman pincers, they want out, and she's trying to stop them, and she don't know what's going on. These two Doberman pincers go out and attack the guys who are attacking her father. I mean, those Dobermans took those guys down to the ground, and they ran off like hell. Because the Dobermans knew exactly what was going on instinctively. Yeah, animals know stuff. It was a cool film. It's on a short, if you can find it. I don't know what it's called. I think it's Dobermans Stop Thieves or something like that. What am I doing? I'm leaning forward. I could move this a little bit. There. Now I can see maybe a little better if the sun doesn't blind my eyeballs. I'm facing due west, but it should be good for the light. And actually, it's one of the better parking spots where I get the light from the gas station once we lose the sun here in about 20 minutes. All right, what am I missing here? I know what we're missing. Where's Mark? I bet he would have something to say about honey holes. Oh, you know what's really kind of interesting? Hey, I'm a Yankee. Up north, east, whatever. And many of you here, George Ann, even Nancy. Nancy might be surprised. She lives in Kentucky. But when was the last time you were able to go into the grocery store, like the one across the street? It's a Lowe's. It's like a local, family-oriented grocery store. You find kind of like Piggly Wiggly or Kroger, or in my town, Family Fair. It's smaller than a Walmart, but it's bigger than a convenience store or a Dollar General. I mean, it's a nice store. your produce, meat, and dairy, and the bakery, and all that. All of a sudden, it caught my eye. There was an aisle that said, fishing gear, things like that. I thought, well, I wonder if they got one of those. I was looking for an adapter, that goes from your cigarette lighter and run your engine, and then you get 120. You have to keep running your engine, but you convert 12 volt to 120 volt, or regular power. Sean, welcome aboard. I'm loving the road. I do not have a bucket. I do have a jug with a funnel, but I try to stay where I'm near actual restrooms so far. Now, I've measured for what size of a bucket I need. So I need it to be able to slide underneath my bed. Just, it'll be for emergency type of thing. Um, I haven't found that. I've looked at, the cheap stores. I'll find something somewhere. So, getting back to my story, guess what I found besides fishing gear? Lano, Texas is it's famous for hunting. Well, guess what? You can buy ammunition at the grocery store. I'm serious. You gotta love Texas. You can buy your ammo for your shotgun right here along with your groceries. I think it's great. Now, I know some people have arms, and I was looking. I wonder if they got any actual like 9mm. I didn't find any of that. Didn't find any ammo for pistols or yeah, I didn't find those. All shotgun. So that doesn't mean that maybe they have it somewhere. But you just got to ask for it. And it is good to see you, Sean. Been a while. Collapsible buckets. Now, you know what? Tina's got one of those. She doesn't use it for that purpose, but I kind of looked around for those too. Because it'd be nice to have one. I've got what you would call hand washing bucket came from the hospital. I want something bigger that I can actually, get the frying pan in and scrub it. I need something to wash dishes in. Flea markets, you're right, Tina. Oh, you can buy ammo at Walmart? I did not know that. I didn't know that. I thought you had to go to like a sporting goods place to buy ammo. I did not know that Walmart sold it. Do they have a 9mm? Huh. Well, see, now I've been in the Myers in Grand Rapids. I don't see no ammunition in them. At least not out in the open like it is here across the street. Of course, there's a law enforcement building not 2 doors down from here. I bet if somebody tried to steal ammo, they'd be, they'd probably be dead in the street. Let's put it that way. I don't think the law dogs around here put up with anything. I've got canned goods. I got beans. I got peas. I need a blender. That blender, I'll find that at a thrift store. That's actually for a movie prop, if you will. A dishwashing container with a drain. I thought you had a collapsible thing that we used down at Mayberry. Maybe I'm dreaming. When the highway gets shut down? Well, hopefully the highway doesn't get shut down, because I hope to be far enough south that we don't get any snow. I seem to be far enough south that I don't have to carry chains with me to go through the what's the name of those mountains? I've been through the mountains before at this time of year, as a matter of fact. Um, there's part of, you know, where White Sands is, and uh, is it Las Cruces, New Mexico, right in there. I'll be going through there. Maybe not this week, but probably next week. See, now Sean's surprised too. James has a carry permit. That's cool. Huh, okay. Well, thank you, Tina. Not that I need it, but well, Kelly, it's actually been planned. Planned? It's been wanted for 5 years. For 5 years, I wanted to get and do this trip. Circumstances, and I know you know all about circumstances, Kelly, precluded me from getting on the road until, well, it's been 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, yesterday, I left Michigan. I went to Detroit, visited with Tina, and then I headed south. Now it's taking me a hell of a lot longer because once I hit Virginia, the already kind of on the edge transmission decided that, no, we don't like these mountains. And I lost fourth gear totally. And third gear is hard to get into, although I can get into third gear. But even then, I can only go a max of 50 miles an hour, and my tachometer is at 3,500. It helps that the cruise control works. It helps when I can get on either gently rolling roadways or flat roadways. I'm still burning up the gas. I'm going through oil more because the engine's working harder. But what do I expect? The engine's got almost 300,000 miles. Yes, I check the oil all the time, but I've been used to having older vehicles for a long time. Since I haven't had a new vehicle since 2013, and that vehicle was actually not mine. It was a company vehicle. So, yeah, I'm not going into debt for a car. I'm just not, or for a truck. It's everything. It's my coats. It's all that stuff that was in the camper that I need to put in here. So I got room in the camper for me. Oh, and there's more stuff back at camp too. I am gradually sorting through stuff, getting rid of stuff, because it got down to the wire where I said, I am leaving on the 3rd of the month on hell or high water, and I left on the 3rd of the month. I left at 5 o'clock on the 3rd of December. I drove all night long, slept in a Walmart in Bellevue because there wasn't anywhere else to park. There was no parking on the street by Tina's daughters. But anyways, yeah, I was stubborn. Wow, that is a nice car. Lincoln Navigator. I wonder if it's the cartel. Wait, they drive GMCs, not Fords. Wow. Well, she thinks she is all that in a bag of chips. I looked at her and she's got sunglasses on. She looked at me like, the fuck are you? Well, history picker. Welcome aboard. I don't believe I've ever encountered you. I probably have. If we have a moderator here, because I can't see who's the moderator. I think Georgianne is. Or Tina. I haven't seen Linda Barker tonight. But could we put up a link, please, to History Picker? If you can click on their link, check them out, please. I won't be able to until sometime tomorrow night because it takes 24 hours for the chat to reappear in your stream, in your replay. So, all right. Oh, I'm taking plenty of pictures and vodkas. No, no. Oh, that says videos. Yeah, I'm probably people are getting sick of me because every day I'm putting out 2 to 3 videos. I can't help myself. There's so much to see, so much. I am learning history, I'm finding history, I'm making history. I'm driving a piece of shit truck across the United States. Thank you, Tina. Thank you very much. I'd put it on the screen over here, but you can't click on it on the screen. So chat is where you can only click on it. So welcome aboard, History Picker. This is great. Yeah, I just put out a video. I visited the Oxford Cemetery, which was created in 1881. Fascinating. My batteries went dead on my camera, but oh well. It's finally published. It was published 10 minutes before this live started because the signal was bad at the campground for some reason. Boy, she just struts like she's something else. Yeah. I hate distractions like that. The tight pants she was wearing were probably $200. Come on. Good grief. Anyway, at the cemetery, I stayed longer and I took more pictures on my phone. I only sent out one. It was kind of interesting. I'll send out a few more later on. One was, I found some graves that, unless someone's moved the stones, it's like, there's something wrong here. Graves are oriented east to west. The head is at the west, and the feet are at the east. Always. Period. Always. At least in the United States. Well, I found some graves over at the southwest corner. They were like southwest to northeast. They weren't in line. I'm thinking, did somebody move the stones? Now, there are stones that were brought in from another cemetery, which, that cemetery was built or ordained or whatever you call that, not commissioned. It's created in 1881. So the first grave in there was from somebody from Oxford County or Llano County, Oxford. There was a little community called Oxford. And they were like the first one buried there. And then it went on from there. But it also says on that plaque that's up by the road that there were several graves brought over from somewhere else. And those people died prior to 1881. The oldest grave I found was 1881. But then I found some sad graves, So-and-so was born January the 6th of 1887 and died on January 6th of 1887. More than likely a stillborn. It just when you walk around there, you can feel history. At least I can. Yeah, that's exactly right. Thank you, Michigan Carol. Tina's quick like a buddy, Okay, Corvettes. Well, Corvettes have a history too. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I like that. Yeah, I can't see who my moderators are on StreamYard. I should write that down someday so I know. Okay, I got it. scroll down. There we go. Okay, I don't need this anymore. The sun has gone under. It's down in Australia now. Probably burning. 50 or 60 Corvette history picker. I like that list. That's a good name. Yeah, Tino, all the shit behind me is clothing mostly. And it's just like today I wore this because it was cold in the morning. You know this one. This is the one I was going to throw in the puddle. There's no puddles around here. You'd think there would be with the amount of rain we have. There's no puddles. Everything's dry. There's stock ponds, but that coat's not big enough. Okay, cool. The more videos, the better. You're going to write a joke about depression, but ultimately it was too long. It doesn't go anywhere. And eventually made you wonder if it's even worth continuing, Nancy. You make me want to cry. It's okay, honey. Don't let Timmy bring you down. Hey, there's Jill. And it is Tuesday. You're correct. My title kind of says it all. And if Lily comes in here and sees that title, she's going to slap me. I just know it. But hey, it's an adult humor night. So it's her fault for opening her mouth. Or her fingers on the keyboard. But I will say this, Lily has kind of warned me. She says, you're going to feel things around there. And yes, I do. They're not just at the cemetery. On the ranch itself, there's some, I don't know, there's some odd things. And I don't think it's kids playing around. Although I found evidence of that too. But yeah, there's a lot to be learned. I did not have a chance to go looking for the blue bonnet. There was a little tiny 5-leaf that you have to look for, and that's a blue bonnet. That they don't typically bloom until February or March, but the way it's going with the weather and the amount of moisture, I guess, that this part of Texas has had, it's very possible that the blue bonnets are going to bloom in January. So I'm kind of keeping an eye out for those little 5-corner leaves. Georgianne, have you been here to this ranch? I bet you have. You've been everywhere. Bring warm stuff to Iron, but I got warm stuff. Oh, you're talking to Georgianne. Gotcha. I'm going to stay around here at least. I'm probably going to stay around here to a week from today. Part of it is I get my Social Security income. That comes on the 1st. Well, actually on the 3rd, but I can tap into it on the 1st if I want. I still might stay a few days. Lily knows a guy that he basically flips trucks. Now, I don't want a truck that's been flipped on its top and smashed, but maybe, just a small possibility, and it might behoove me to replace this truck. Unfortunately, I don't have the title to this truck with me. It's up at the cottage somewhere. But chances are, Texas is a little bit different. They may not need a title to scrap it. Or if we make a deal, who knows? I haven't talked to this gentleman yet. But if we come up with some kind of a deal where I can trade this truck, which is not worth much more than $300 scrap, but if he parts it out, it's worth more. The engine's, you know, the engine's starting to use a little bit of oil, but that's because I've been running it at high RPMs. It's the transmission that sucks. Well, a transmission to replace the transmission is over $900. That wipes out a whole 1 month of income. Plus, I need to be at Ironwood by the 2nd of February. Actually, I want to be in Tucson earlier than that. Because Jill's going to let me mooch dock in her driveway for a day or two, and I'll find a campsite. There's BLM land out that way. And hopefully I'll even get a job out there. So, I mean, I've got two choices. I can stick around here and trade out this truck for something that will probably make it through the mountains a little bit better, or keep nursing this truck along. Maybe I can make it to Tucson. And if that's the case, well, then I can go to work. I can bank some of my money. But I still have bills at home I have to pay. I mean, there's taxes and I mean, my nephew is paying a little bit. He's paying me a couple hundred a month, and plus he's paying on the utilities. I don't have to worry about that. Thankfully. But even so, the taxes, I don't expect him to pay the tax. I've got to do that myself. So there's that. And then there's Verizon. I got to pay that. And I have to pay my car insurance. Bingo. So there's right off the top of the month is that. But again, if I could bank a little bit of money while I'm out in Arizona, maybe by, let's say, March or April, I can have a much nicer vehicle than what I have right now. Okay. February is Gem Show in Tucson. That'd be kind of cool to go to. Jill is being suggested, I think, which I kind of like. I won't deny it. Jill says he's got some ranches for me. Cool. Here you're getting things ready. That's cool. That is cool. I'm way up. Okay. I'm back to the part where Jill is telling Georgianne to bring warm stuff. Oh, Michigan Carol, I'm in Lano, Texas. That's 2 L's, A and O. Hey, try your lights. Your horn works. I can roll that window up now. Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't want to crawl out from under the blankets this morning until that sun actually started beating into the windows on the camper. If that hadn't happened, I'd probably still be under the blankets. Michigan Carol says she has ranch dressing. Good one, Carol. Yeah, it's a cool place, Georgianne. You would enjoy it. Somebody in New York City gets stabbed every 35 seconds. Poor fellow. Oh, God. Okay, Kelly, Christian cemetery. If a gravestone is facing west, it indicates a suspicious death, such as a suicide. As a body facing west is said not to see Jesus when he arrives from the east. Really? I had never encountered that. It's interesting. I think that some of those gravestones that I saw, I think somebody tampered with them. I just have this funny feeling that, some kid just twisted it a little bit, and then maybe twisted the next one, and twisted the next one. Because they're all in the same little corner. Of course, there's a tree that fell, and I would love to clean that up. So I found a couple Masonic graves. I found at least one Texas Ranger grave that's marked with the cross and the big star of Texas right in the middle of it. And that's a Texas Rangers emblem. Um, Oddly, there was this little, from a distance, you go, what in the world is a screen door doing at the fence line of a cemetery? Of course, my thought is, well, it makes it easier for the spirits to, cross dimensions. They can go through the screen. Turns out it was a little shed in disrepair, but it's got this screen door on it. Inside the shed, there's buckets and some hoses. It's for people to water the urns for the graves. And also, I did find evidence of some lawn sprinklers. So maybe at some point, somebody was trying to keep the place a little green. I also get the impression that that person is not doing it anymore, because I found that the sprinklers were broken. There was some evidence of underground sprinkling, which is also broken. I know enough about underground sprinkling, and I can see that that's not going to work. It's not hooked up. It's been dug up. Okay, we could just bundle together and slumber it all together. That would be nice, Joe. I've brought this up before, but for those of you who do not know it, it's all what they call it, thermodynamics. Your body gives off 600, they call them BTUs, British thermal units of energy, heat. I don't know if that's an hour or a minute, but anyways, your body gives off heat. Okay. I mean, if you had a box and you got in it and it's an insulated box, pretty soon you'd have to open up a window because you're burning up from your own heat. Now, as far as sleeping goes, you crawl under the blankets. Don't be dressed. Remove your clothing. At least get down to your underwear. I like to sleep nude, and I'm not trying to be, sexual about that or anything like that. But, I prefer to sleep in the nude. But, in a campground situation, you kind of got to wear a tiny bit just in case. So, yeah, I wear my shorts. Not my Daisy Dukes. I'm talking, regular underwear. And I'm warm enough with like 3 blankets because my body is generating that heat. Now, it's a thermal kind of how do you call that? You heat the air, and that's what keeps you warm, the air that comes off your body. Now, if you keep the air from coming off your body by wearing clothing, you are not going to heat the air as well, and you're going to be colder. It's the same principle that a wetsuit uses. I learned this last summer because I was going to buy Tina and I wetsuits. Because we thought, we had a crazy idea that we were going to go swimming in Lake Superior. I did. And of course, she didn't make that trip due to whatever. There's surgery coming up and all that. But I was just looking forward to getting her fitted, for a wetsuit. You know me. But the wetsuit isn't dry. The wetsuit actually is made out of this type of foam material, foam, rubber, whatever you want to call it. And it saturates in the water. And your body heats that water that's in the suit, that's not directly touching your skin. It's a little ways away, micrometers away from you, whatever. But it's the heat from your body that heats the water that keeps you warm. Thermodynamics. So we all got to get naked and snuggle together, and we'll be sweating by morning or sooner. Jill has the right idea. She knows this. Wine and dine. Oh, goody. I'm all for it, Joe. No, he actually goes back to the ranch house. You know, he hangs out with me till about this time of day, and then off he goes. He basically knows where he's supposed to be. I mean, now I have noticed that he makes sure he's up there if a car drives in. He greets everybody that drives in, and like I told Lily, I think he does that because he's hoping that somebody has brought her back to the ranch after 8 years of absence. Could be. Oh, dinner and a movie, Joe. The pastor of the church faces west so he can look over his flock. Wow. Now that is fascinating as well. Who knew that? I didn't. That is interesting. The Texas Rangers are lookers. You know, Lily and I have a joke about that. I don't know. We were on a similar conversation, adult conversation. This was 4 years ago. In fact, I did. Okay. She had somehow mentioned that she had been outside of her rig in the nude. And I said something about, well, you know, when you're in Texas, look behind you because that's where the Ranger's going to be. And she says, yeah, I know. They're all naked too. Good one, Lily. So I made a whole thing about that, another video. And of course, I sang the Texas Ranger song. But when you're in Texas, look behind you because that's where the Ranger's going to be. Blind carpenter who picked up his hammer and saw. That is actually pretty deep, Nancy. I like that. You had a ranger knock on your door in Dallas? Okay, Jill. Did you invite him in? Carol's going to tell me what's in Michigan. Steers and steers and bulls. Yo, you know what? I want to say something to Bree, TGIF. She was talking, she's getting ready to have a calf. Well, not her. One of her cows is giving birth to a calf. And this is basically the wrong time of year, but it's happening. And she finally figured out how it happened. One of the bulls that she castrated, because she does not cut the testicles off of a young bull, she does the rubber band method. When the young bulls as he grows, the testicles are not getting a blood supply, and pretty soon they wither and fall off. Therefore, he cannot sire. He cannot be a father. So I got thinking about, wait a minute. I remember doing that to goats, the rubber band method. But when I was helping with steers, or making steers, cutting calves, as we call it, we were using a utility knife and cutting their nuts out, putting them in a bowl. I helped with probably 40 head one night. Cutting, we left there from the barn with a full bucket of testicles. Now, for those of you who don't get gagged and don't get sick, but you've heard the term mountain oysters, I'll tell you what, people, it sounds terrible maybe, but you fry up those testicles in a flour just as if you were doing veal or A yearling deer. You ever had 1-year-old venison? You flour that up and fry it, and it's like, oh my God, so tasty. The testicles, mountain oysters, you can't stop eating them. They are so good. Now, I probably gross somebody out. Nude rules, Joe. I typically sleep naked all the time. When I possibly can, I am. And I've been that way my whole life. Alpaca socks. Wow. I seen some alpacas yesterday, and I seen zebras, longhorns. Yeah, there's some unusual ranches around here that have unusual herds. It's not just cattle ranches down here. That's good to know, Jill. I'll be thinking about you tonight. Hey, there's Kobe. Ain't on here. Are you not in Europe, or are you in Europe? You dang right I did, Georgianne. They are delicious. See, Nancy tells you, and somebody fooled her into eating them. How was your mood? All that testosterone made her horny. Great for stamina. I wouldn't doubt it. I hadn't thought of that. But why not? Okay, Jill says Rocky Mountain oysters. We didn't call them that. We were in Arkansas, so I guess we're Ozark Mountain oysters. 100,000. I wouldn't doubt it. And I mean, some of these ranches that are down here, holy cow. Kentucky has the highest rate of depression, extramarital activities. It's a sad state of affairs. That's subtle, Nancy. Cowboy hat and bolo. You stayed up for hours? Who are we talking about? Oh, Kobe's got to go. Damn. Good to see you. Sorry, I didn't realize. Oh, you're on your overnight flight to Europe. Okay, that's cool that you stopped in. I think they do, Joe. Unless you like them to wear their spurs. Velvet spurs. Okay, now. Goes with the velvet handcuffs. All right. Hey, I'm thinking of starting an adult YouTube channel called 50 Shades of Captain Jack. Why not? Okay, who's Randy? No, I'm missing something. Very Randy. I got it. Randy as in horny. Who have eaten frog legs? Now that I have not. But my parents, weekends, especially in the fall, that was another excuse to go down to Yankee Springs, which is basically south of Grand Rapids and a little bit north of Kalamazoo, in between. And it was swamplands. And they would go frog gigging. That was their thing. I mean, they'd leave me with a babysitter sometimes and go frog gigging. Of course, they'd get super drunk, come home all sloppy, but they come home with all these frogs and cut their legs off and fry them up and eat them. I would not. I still have it. But you know what? If it kills me, fine. It's about time for me to get out of here anyways, right? I'm going to try them. I'm not going to turn up on my nose anymore. If that many people like them, And I happen to like mountain oysters, so why not try frog legs? You know, yeah, I've had snake. Didn't really care one way or the other. Yeah, they don't fill you up. Well, yeah, you'd have to eat a heck of a lot of them, I would think. You know, the frogs were talking the other night. It was kind of interesting. Oh my gosh, look what time it is already. Can you believe this hour went by that fast? All right, well, it does. So I got to go home and think about what Jill's been saying. Then I got to go. I do have to stop at Dollar General and get Jack's some more of these macaroons. I hope they have them at Dollar General. Now, I bought these at Dollar Tree, but I'm guessing Dollar General is going to have something. I know I can't give them anything with chocolate. You don't give dogs chocolate. Had snake before. Do you know what kind? I do not know what kind it was, Louis. I have no idea. Yeah, I can't believe it's Tuesday either. It's like, huh? Feels like Friday. I don't know why. Anyway, I've had buffalo. I've had bear. I've had elk. I've never had antelope. I know Jill knows where there's some antelope. That's about it as far as a little more off the beaten path or exotic, if you will. Grew up eating pheasant. I mean, we had so many pheasant around our place that it was not uncommon to have pheasant on Sunday afternoons. Pheasant on the rotisserie grill, not chicken, pheasant. And duck. I don't care much about duck. But I liked pheasant. And obviously I love chicken. Who doesn't? Game hens, Cornish. Yeah. No big deal. No, I'm sure I can't take that beautiful dog with me. My favorite food? Oh my goodness, Joe. I'm on a seafood diet. If I see food, I eat it. I don't know. I go in spurts. Lately, I've been, believe it or not, on a bologna spurt. Yeah, I've been buying big, thick slices of bologna. A couple times I've fried them. Just fried bologna. I bought some macaroni and cheese the other day. I have yet to make that. You know why? Because somewhere along the line, I didn't bring a saucepan. So earlier today, when I was in town earlier today, I stopped at Dollar General. Forgot the macaroons, but I needed a mat for the camper where you walk in or step up in the camper, a carpet, an entryway carpet. So I got one for $2.50. It was half price Christmas, cuisine. I love Chinese as far as a treat, but I'm also a meat eater. I'm great with, once in a while I'll have steak or, I like hamburgers. I actually bought some hot dogs today, as a matter of fact. No dog napping, that's right. Pronghorn, okay. You hear him say, hey, what the fuck are you doing? What, Nancy? Where is Mark? He would love these. Oh my gosh. Seafood. Oh, Joe's. That's cool. My very favorite, and I love it when I can find a buffet that actually has it, is coconut shrimp. I could almost get sick eating coconut shrimp because I love it. But I love Mongolian beef. I love rice. Don't get me wrong. Rice rice, right? Rice is good. um, yeah, I'm not hard to please, Joe. All right. Lewis is going to a Mexican restaurant. Sounds good. Saw one down the street here. I don't know anything about it. I'm not likely to go to a restaurant here in this town. My budget's not going to allow it right now. Maybe next. Oh, crab ragoons. Yeah, so I can get those. uh, I like the butter potato. Uh, Stuffed pepper, or not stuffed pepper. Excuse me, stuffed mushroom. Oh, what else do I like? There's some things that I just really get into with Chinese, and then there's other stuff like no effing way. Okay, sushi. Nope. No. I want my fish cooked. Jill's running for the border. She's got to get away from me. Going to Taco Bell. That's their slogan. Run for the border. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Okay. I don't think Taco Bell is a true Mexican restaurant, period. They're not. It's stupid. I can make better tacos. Okay? Okay, Joe. I'm ready. And they may keep me, but I'm ready. I know what I'm going to say to them when we're coming back. I'll let you know when I see you. Yeah, seriously. I want to have fun with the guards. Why not? I could say, kind of like this. These are not the droids you're looking for. Reference me and you. Or, that's Star Wars. Now we can switch it up and we could do a Star Trek version of the same thing. We could say, we are not the Betazoids that you're looking for. I don't know if you have watched any Star Wars or Star Trek over the years, but I'm not a Star Wars fan big time, not really. Star Trek, yes, although the newer ones I haven't been keeping up with. I like not the first Star Trek movie. I thought that was very hokey, but the second one and on forward from there, the ones with Shatner and Nimoy and the original cast, Scotty, those characters and the movies that they made, the Genesis thing, the Search for Spock, all of those were excellent. I was into those. Throw supplies when needed. That sounds good. Yo bueno. And you said I could go without my shirt. Man, that's good, Joe. Not go is where we will cross. So we bring our cheese. So we can say, knock your cheese. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to get on the Atlas and look up, nor have I had a chance to get on the computer and pull up the San Padre River that you were telling me about. It's a north flowing river. I want to go there. It just sounds fabulous. And with you as my guide, I know I'm going to just eat it up. Run for the border. Yeah. Well, we could have one, Louis. We could call it Taco Bell. Do you want a tango? Yo quiero dinero. Perdo. Thank you, Joe. We call it cheese. It's not your nacho cheese. Yeah, nacho cheese. And it's nacho cheese. San Pedro. Yes. Okay. Sort of. I don't know why I was going Padre. I don't know where I got that. I know there's San Padre Mountains, but I think that's in between here and where you're at. Or it's beyond. Maybe that's closer to like San Diego, California. San Padres. Damn it, I've been to the San Padres, but why can't I remember where they are? A bigger box. We just stay down there. Might not be as cold at night, but we'll still keep each other warm. All right. All right, I better get off of here. It's 6:10. It's getting dark. I don't like driving in a strange area after dark, even though I've been on this road, 3 times now. But Lily said she don't like driving out here after dark because there's a few, unfortunately, drunks. So, yeah, I can avoid them. Hotels are cheap. Okay, cool. We don't have to take the camper then. All right. I will be safe, Carol. Thank you very much. We'll see you all tomorrow night, probably from this very same location. I've got the scratch offs. Got 2 of those. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared for tomorrow night. Will it be from the campground? If the signal was like it was tonight at the campground, no. It's going to be the 2-hour program will be from here. Got to check and see if Nate's going to have his show. And we'll just go from there. All right, Georgianne, thank you. Yes, happy early New Year's, everyone. Well, I hope you can come aboard tomorrow. We do the, why do we say it? We're starting with the letter N tomorrow. So I know what word that Jill is going to choose. So her chip will be already in tomorrow. So I think somehow in her little tune in my ear says she chose naughty. All right. That being said, Merry Christmas. Oh, wait, that was yesterday. Have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow night. All right. Thank you for being aboard, everyone. Fair winds and smiles. And of course, may God bless. All right. How do I do this? Forgot. End the stream. Thank you, Linda. And the stream that's going to ask me how it went, I'm going to say it went pretty doggone good. I flirted a lot.